This video is sponsored by Aniba. Click below for the link to their website or stick around to the end of the video to learn more. Sony currently has incredibly robust and talented first-party studios. For many years, Sony's first parties have rightly garnered a reputation for releasing high-quality games. Whether it be God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Returnal, etc., Sony's first-party games are often incredible, and many of their studios are considered some of the best in gaming. But when it specifically comes to Sony and PlayStation, there's one studio that has noticeably stood out from the rest this generation. The studio? Insomniac. In November 2019, Sony made one of their best studio purchases, acquiring Insomniac Games. Though this is when they officially became part of PlayStation, they had previously released many PlayStation-exclusive games. From Spyro on the PlayStation 1 to Ratchet & Clank to the Resistance series,
do it, you cowards!
Insomniac has created a wide array of PlayStation exclusives for decades. And after the massive success of Spider-Man PS4 in 2018, Sony did the most obvious thing and purchased Insomniac for $229 million. Quite frankly, a great deal compared to, some other acquisitions they've made. But what makes them Sony's best studio? After all, most of their first parties release heavy hitters and Game of the Year contenders, so what makes Insomniac the best? Let's start by looking at this generation, which started shortly after Insomniac was acquired by Sony. My first and most important point is also the most simple one. Insomniac is simply doing something that no other PlayStation first party is doing. They're consistently releasing games. In 2020, they released Spider-Man Miles Morales as a launch PS5 game. This was then followed by Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart in 2021, and then Spider-Man 2 in 2023. Now they recently announced Wolverine, which will be coming in the fall of 2026. So at the bare minimum, Insomniac will release 4 new, fully fledged AAA games for this console generation. Comparing them to other major PlayStation first-party studios in this regard illustrates how impressive and efficient Insomniac is. Housemarque will release 2 games this generation, being Returnal and the upcoming Saros. Sony Santa Monica, Guerrilla Games, and Bluepoint have each released 1 game so far, so those studios may be able to release 1 more game before the PlayStation 6 if they're lucky. Sucker Punch recently released Ghost of Yotei, so that will be their 1 game release for this generation. Then lastly is Naughty Dog, who has come out swinging this generation by releasing... So this is kind of the elephant in the room. For many people, Naughty Dog is considered not only PlayStation's best studio, but one of the best studios in the industry. Now I understand this sentiment, but to be considered a great or the best studio, you need to release new games. Naughty Dog simply hasn't. If they're lucky, they will get their new game out late next year, close to the end of the PS5 generation. Now you may say the number of games a studio releases does not mean much, and I agree on its own this argument does not carry much weight. But the number of games becomes the most important argument when you start factoring in additional context. So let me now talk about the sales and value Insomniac is bringing to Sony. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart has allegedly sold over 4 million copies and has become the most successful game in the franchise. Spider-Man Miles Morales has sold over 14 million copies as of 2 years ago, and Spider-Man 2 has sold over 11 million copies as of early 2024. Though the Spider-Man games have huge budgets, especially Spider-Man 2, it is clear that they have made Sony an extraordinary amount of money. But you may say, hold on, what about the other first-party games that have sold well? Horizon Forbidden West sold 8 million copies as of a couple years ago, so it's likely closer by now to 10 million sold. God of War Ragnarok surpassed 15 million copies sold as of November 2023. So how is Insomniac getting more credit from me here? It's a fair question, and my answer would be simple. All the games I'm mentioning from Insomniac are PS5 only. Both Forbidden West and Ragnarok include PS4 sales, so from this perspective, it makes what Insomniac is achieving even more impressive. Additionally, by being PS5 only, Insomniac is creating unique value here that is extremely important for the PlayStation brand. By releasing multiple PS5 exclusive games and selling tens of millions of copies, they have helped convince gamers to migrate to the PS5 ecosystem. This ultimately helps to improve the PS5's reputation and only adds further value to Sony and PlayStation. Because once the gamer is on the PS5 ecosystem, they will then spend more money there. PlayStation 4 sales are nice, but Ragnarok and Forbidden West being on PS4 only incentivizes gamers to stay on last-gen platforms, which benefits Sony far less. Similarly, not releasing new games or only releasing PS5 updates to PS4 games do not bring in much value either. Sorry, Naughty Dog. Then of course, we also need to talk about the quality of the games themselves, which are excellent. All their games review incredibly, and gamers consistently enjoy their games. On a technical level, their games look beautiful, run impressively, and take full advantage of the PlayStation 5. Though other Sony first parties also release games with excellent visuals and performance, this once again highlights the difference that Insomniac offers. They're able to release these games at this technical level at a much quicker pace than other studios. Insomniac is an undeniably talented studio, and they've made excellent games for decades, whether it's for PlayStation, Xbox, or anybody else. By the end of this generation, they will not only release 4 games, but 3 distinct games that all play quite differently from one another. I cannot emphasize enough how much this is not common in the current industry. Insomniac is simply on another level right now. They release far more AAA games than any other large first-party studio at PlayStation, have some of the best-selling games in the PlayStation ecosystem while being PS5 only, and are still able to release games at that same quality as any other PlayStation first-party. So, no matter how you look at it, there's no denying that Insomniac is currently PlayStation's best studio. And it's not really that close either. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. This video is sponsored by Aniba. Aniba is a gaming e-commerce website that provides games, gift cards, and other products from a variety of sellers. Buy new games and other game keys at a discount across various platforms. On Aniba, all these products are sold by different sellers. When picking which seller you want to buy from, you can review the different sellers to see their ratings, as well as how long they've sold on the website and how much they have sold. Additionally, you can sign up for an account to sell your own game keys and products as well. Click the link below to learn more, and thank you again to Aniba for sponsoring this video.